Today, I'm holding up this clock to represent today on the 29th of March 2021 at 5 p.m. We ran out of time. We've got a couple of dying contaminated blood victims today, and so we'd approached Australia's Labor Party and Australia's Federal Shadow Health Minister, Mark Butler, and it really, what's happened is quite ironic. It's become a sort of tale of two Labour parties. You have in the United Kingdom the incredible work of people who have become actual heroes to victims of the global contaminated blood scandal. People like Dame Diana Johnson, Labour MP, who's been so powerful for victims and their families in the UK, and such a forceful voice in pushing them towards this incredible infected blood inquiry that they have. And of course, former Labour MP and now current Mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham. You're both my absolute heroes. Make no mistake. If I could vote for you from here, I would. We will never forget what you've done for our friends in the UK. Perhaps you can help us with the Australian Labor Party. Mark Butler does not support what you've done in the United Kingdom here in Australia. Now, I think it's the case that Mark Butler, like his predecessors, are holding on to this wrongful view that Australia's deadliest medical scandal, the contamination of blood supply before the mid-90s, where tens of thousands of blood transfusion recipients ended up with life-threatening diseases like hepatitis C, that of course causes so much liver cancer, and that's right throughout our group. And of course, there are other people who acquired HIV from the blood supply. Then you've got people with the blood clotting disorder, haemophilia, many of them who didn't need the blood treatments to survive that they were given, and yet they took these blood treatments and they ended up with hepatitis C and HIV. And we've had 1,400 deaths here in Australia. We've never had any financial assistance. You know, we looked on in 2003 when the British Labour government did the incredible thing and the right thing when it made ex gratia financial assistance available to contaminated blood victims and people like people with haemophilia. That was really important. And so we had a mate here. He was another great Labour man. You'd have loved him. Dame Johnson would have loved this guy. And so too would Andy Burnham. His name was Senator Stephen Hutchins. A really good man. And he got what you were doing over there. So he organised a Senate inquiry here. And he and I wrote the terms of reference for that. And he talked forcefully about, you know, making amends and righting wrongs and also getting assistance out to victims. Well, just before he started as chair of a Senate committee into hepatitis C and the contaminated blood scandal here in Australia, he was ousted by the Australian Labor Party internally. He was a member of, I think, the right faction of the Labor Party, and in came a member of the left faction. I don't know, I can't keep up. But Jan McLucas came in, Senator Jan McLucas, and no, she was of the view that this was unavoidable and that everything was an accident. We now understand that Mark Butler's of the same view. Mark Butler, you'd only have to look at the infected blood inquiry in the UK to know this was no accident. And we also know that your faction of the Labour Party, just like Jan McLucas, believed that it's unfair discrimination on other people with viruses if you were to offer assistance or help, financial assistance and so on to people with haemophilia. Please speak to Dame Johnson, speak to Andy Burnham, these British heroes, and they'll tell you this was no accident. And very soon we're about to release more evidence, in fact. And again, if you look at the UK infected blood inquiry, speak to anyone there. And so the suggestion by your party that is discriminatory to help people with haemophilia, 1,400 have died. They've got families. They've lost their family businesses, their homes. They've ended up in public housing. And a commercial company, CSL, that made their blood products have ended up worth over 100 billion with former public servants who presided over CSL ending up with fortunes worth hundreds of millions. And now there's probably 100 haemophiliacs who took blood products in the 1980s left alive. Please, Mark. Please, Mark Butler. Stop this right now. They're running out of time. We really are. That's why we demanded that you help us now and support what they're doing in the UK. Support haemophilia families and contaminated blood victims getting answers. Dame Johnson, Andy Burnham, and to the British campaigners, you are heroes. Please help us. Thank you very much.